The Arizona Lacrosse League is on the air, and this afternoon from John Wren Stadium on the campus of Perry High School, it's the Chandler Pumas playing host to the undefeated and #1 ranked Notre Dame Saints. I'm Jeff Lowry with APNvideo.com. This Chandler team derives from two teams as they combine the Hamilton Huskies and the Chandler Wolves. But still, Tice Thiessen, the longtime Hamilton head coach, the longest tenured coach in the league, is still at the helm. He's talking to Doug Lipska, the head coach of the Notre Dame Saints, and they are having their best season by far. Undefeated at 11-0, coming off an 8-7 victory on Tuesday night at the hands of the Desert Vista Thunder. Doug is in his fourth year. The team coming off a 4-6 season to be 11-0 this year. So ready for the opening face-off. The two goalies, Marcus Coleman sees for the Purple People Eaters, the Notre Dame Saints in the purple uniforms. Bryce Palmer in goal. Next Encore Gamecast will be coming up this coming weekend. It'll be the Division I state semifinals. So we hope that you'll keep it tuned to APNvideo.com. And the opening face-off belongs to Notre Dame, and this game is underway. Well, it's a warm one out here. We're expecting temperatures to climb up into the 90s before the end of this game comes about. Our game time temperature right now is 88 degrees. Actually, it is 90 degrees right now. Notre Dame, what a season. I mean, what can you say? This is a team that is that will push it up and down the field. They're not usually the kind of team that's going to go into long possessions. And Will Lynch with the big left hand, and he's going to be turned away on a nice save by Bryce Palmer. He just barely got the stick on that one. No score, we're just underway. Work it out of X. This is Bergamo. Bit of a blustery day here in Gilbert, Arizona. Jake Smith, one of the leaders. And we talked about this Notre Dame team on our last Encore Gamecast when they took on Desert Vista and won 8-7. That was their last game. Here's a turnover. As you get a look at the Chandler Pumas for the first time in their possession. Ball comes loose. Bergamo, he's got it. He's going to take it strong to the hole. Crispy with the rock. And it's 1-0. Notre Dame strikes first. So the turnover led to a score. Bergamo gives his team an early 1-0 lead. The one thing I think Notre Dame has a distinct advantage is that their athleticism really shows on defense. Even if you catch this offense, which they really have 7 options, and their starting, their starting lineup, and maybe one guy coming off the bench, but they have so many weapons on offense. Even if you limit this team, as Desert Vista did on Tuesday, to only 8 points, you still got to score enough points to outscore them. And that's, I think, in essence, the difference between this Notre Dame team and everybody else. But offensively, they have been tremendous. They are averaging, going into the Desert Vista game, averaging 10-point wins. They just scored again. And this time, Will Lynch, whose dominant hand is the left, he goes with the right. And that might have thrown off this defense for the Pumas. So it's 2-0 here in the first quarter. We're just underway. 3 minutes into the contest. Neil Callan battling in face-off X, but this one belongs to Notre Dame. And they have been one of the top teams in terms of face-off wins, and they've won 3 already. Bergamo turned away. And a nice clear by Callan of the Chandler Pumas, but he's out of play, and this will turn it back over to William Hackbarth. And one of the long poles here for Doug Lipska is in his 4th year, and assisted by Matt Tyke and Mark Siegel. Will Lynch, one of the top scorers on this team this year. Now you got Jake Smith, you got Quinn Stanton, who's tremendous in midfield. Will Cunnington, number 5, a 4-year starter for this team. Will Lynch, Bergamo, Blake Story, and James Traxler. That's 7 players that this team can come at you even against some of the better defenses in Arizona. Outstanding ground ball by Ty Kofel. He'll lead it up ahead to Dalton Meyer. Right now, Chandler needs a point. They trail 2-0 against a team that has yet to be defeated this year. Their average margin of victory, right around 9 a game. It was 10 going into that Desert Vista game, but they only won by 1. So the ball goes out of play here. We apologize. It's a little tough getting the camera when they're this close to the field, to the near sideline. 2-0 Notre Dame. And Will Cunnington will go to work here. He gets it into the box, right down the pipe. The pass goes goal line extended left, and they throw it away, and there'll be a Pumas possession here. 5 minutes into the contest, 2-0 lead for Notre Dame. Pushed out of bounds, Jake Smith on Nick Sparks. And this is going to be a push with possession, and that is a 30-second infraction. And so Notre Dame will be playing a man down here as we approach the halfway point of quarter number 1. The Saints lead at 2-0, Bergamo and Lynch scoring. We talked about the Chandler Pumas, a team that comes in here. They are the 7th seed if the playoffs were to start today. And this is the final day of regular season play in the Arizona Lacrosse League. Pumas in a 6-on-5 in their settled offense. Shot taken, no good. Dane Hiddle, 31 points. He leads all scorers for this Pumas team. Second is Ben Devay and Race Bloom. After the restart, Pumas getting a couple of opportunities here, trying to break the ice, trailing 2-0. And that swarming Notre Dame defense almost came up with a turnover. Ball still loose, 50-50 ball at midfield, and the Saints are going to get it. And both teams are at full strength. Here's Bergamo, who scored the first goal of the contest about a minute and a half into the contest. The Pumas come in with a record of 6-5, right now the 7th seed. If they win today, Desert Vista and Arcadia would lose, then as Desert Vista plays the Pinnacle Pioneers, Arcadia has to venture down to, Arcadia they're done. They are set. Arcadia finished 7-5. They lost to Chaparral on Wednesday, excuse me. And the ground ball belongs to Bergamo, and the 2-0 lead for the Notre Dame Saints. So Arcadia finishes the regular season 7-5. So if the Pumas win here today and Desert Vista loses their final game, the Pumas could climb to that number 5 position. And if they get a victory here today, they will be the 6th seed. Right now, they are the 7th seed and looking to take on the Brophy Broncos in the playoffs, the number 2 seed. Shot taken, no good, and that's Austin Rosen. You know, we mentioned those 7 players that, can score at will for this Notre Dame Saints. You got to, really, they've got 8 options with Austin Rosen in their number 4. 2-0 lead here for the Saints. We're in the first quarter. Will Lynch, who had one of the 2 goals. Nice pass. Oh, my goodness. A pirouette shot by James Traxler, and he's found the promised land. That was impressive. I'll tell you, it was a great move. Quick V move there by Will Lynch in the pirouette shot. I haven't seen that this year. So Lynch will be credited with the assist. And here in quarter number one, it is all Notre Dame at 3-0 as they try to conclude a perfect 12-0 season. It's going to be one of the rare times in league history that a team will finish undefeated. I know Chaparral had a couple of seasons where they finished undefeated. Back in the mid-2000s, Brophy had one undefeated season, I believe, and Desert Vista went 2 years, back-to-back state championships, and a lot of people are talking about this Notre Dame team as the odds-on favorite to win it all this year. I'd have to agree at this point, but they certainly cannot take some of these teams lightly, like Desert Vista, Brophy, and for that matter, Chaparral, who they will play most likely in the first round of the playoffs, or possibly in the second round of the playoffs. $3-0 Notre Dame. High shot, no good. Yeah, the Pumas on the other side coming off an 11-10 loss at Pinnacle, and had they won that game, they would have obviously been sitting in good shape right now. There's a good chance if they lose this game, they're going to end up being the 7th seed, which would put them against Brophy in the first round as opposed to playing either Sal Point or Chaparral. And they beat Chaparral. They did not beat Sal Point. They did not beat Brophy this year. They had a pretty good season under Tice Thiessen. And we mentioned that this Hamilton team, led by Dalton Meyer with the ball, derived from the Chandler Wolves and the Hamilton Huskies. Hamilton in Division II won the state championship back in 2007 and then lost in the D2 championship to the Glendale Vipers in 2012. Chandler, under Dave Henning, the third winningest coach in league history since retired from lacrosse coaching a couple of years ago. He took the Chandler Wolves to 2 Division I state championship games. He lost to Brophy in 2010. And he lost to Jeff Stroop, who had like 12 points in that 2005 game. Flag is down. And Notre Dame, a little slash there against Notre Dame, a 1-minute infraction. And this is going to put the Saints a man down as the Chandler Pumas are trying to cut into a early 3-0 first quarter lead by the Notre Dame Saints. As we are coming up to near the end of quarter number one, Pumas will get the shot, and Marcus Comences, who's had a huge year this season. Of course, he's got an outstanding defense led by Ryan Poteet, number 8. Take another shot, and this time the Pumas put one into the back of the cage. Mendevalle scoring for the Chandler Pumas, and it's 3-1. Face-off time. Well, I'll tell you what, it seems like Notre Dame is right there virtually every time. So it's now 3-1 as Chandler draws to within 2. Rosen, good defense applied by Klemzak. Bryce Klemzak of the Chandler Pumas, who come out in the white tops and the red shorts. Notre Dame losing this one all the way up towards midfield, and an over and back, and that's going to give it back to the Pumas with a chance to cut this back to a one-possession ball game as they trail it 3-1 here. We've got roughly 3 minutes left to go here in quarter number one. Notre Dame getting goals from Bergamo, Lynch, and Traxler. Traxler, the big play of the week so far. Getting a look at Sam Ikris. Sam looking for someone in the pipe, now works it out to the wing. Mayer. Back to Icarus. Spinning. Good move. Even better defense there by Rosen. Loose ball. The long poles trying to pick that up for the Notre Dame Saints. Poteet, he couldn't get there. And now the Pumas, for a moment, had the defense out of whack, but they recovered quickly. Notre Dame in the purple uniforms, and they're going to get a loose ball at midfield, and here they are in transition where they are so dangerous. They'll force the action. They'll score it. They're the best in transition, no doubt about it, and they thrive on it. Lynch from Traxler. And those two had combined on a goal earlier, except that was Lynch to Traxler, and now it's a 4-1 lead, and that ties the largest lead of the game at 3. And finally, the Chandler Pumas come up with a face-off win. There's a timeout on the field. This is APN Video Sports. Well, we're back here at Perry High School, John Wren Stadium, named after the former head football coach of the Hamilton Huskies. It's ironic that Perry opened this school like 9 or 10 years ago, and they named it after their rival's former head coach. I never understood that, but he came over here and started the program as athletic director, and then now coaching at Arizona State University for Coach Todd Graham. So after the restart, Kalen gets it into X. Try to get it back to Ben. And this pass is going to go out of play. Good hustle on the near side by Dane Hiddle, but he couldn't get there in time. Notre Dame on the restart wants a foul. Zach Siegel. And we got about 30 seconds left to go here in the quarter. Will Lynch, who has 2 goals and 1 assist, 3 points. And looking to create from goal line extended left. He gets it into that money spot, and I'm telling you, he is absolutely lethal. Cunnington, he was lining up a left-handed shot. He loses it. And an aggressive move, ground ball, Klemzak, Bryce Klemzak. And we're going to get a hold here, and it's going to be Chandler Puma's ball. Final seconds of quarter number 1. And they'll take the shot at the buzzer as we head to quarter number 2. It's Notre Dame on the road taking on the Chandler Pumas, and Notre Dame leads it 4-1. Lynch with a pair of goals for the Saints. Second face-off win for the Pumas, and they'll take the shot. Turned away by Coleman-Sees. Outstanding job, but the flag is down. Notre Dame led by Lynch, 2 goals, 1 assist. Traxler and Bergamo making up the other 2. And the lone goal by Ben DeValle late in that first quarter. Let's get the call. So a 2-minute non-releasable. So you got a 2-minute non-releasable penalty against Will Hackbarth of Notre Dame. Then the unsportsmanlike conduct, that's another minute. So in essence, that will be tacked on. They'll be stacked, so to speak. It's a 3-minute penalty. So Notre Dame is going to be in a man-down situation for 2 minutes plus. I think the non-releasable is going to be, that is a releasable penalty. So right now, this is Chandler's golden opportunity to get back into this ball game. As we start quarter number 2, they trail it 4-1. Shot. And Coleman-Sees is a tough nut to crack. He may be one of the top 2 or 3 goalies in the state. And I haven't really, this is our first look at Bryce Palmer. Loose ball, boy, Notre Dame would love to get possession. You'll see him kill it, play keep away for as long as they can. streak there as Race Bloom, who is third on the team in scoring, third in goals. He's got 6 assists coming in, and he'll restart it for the Pumas. Chandler trailing Notre Dame, and that's a nice job there. Too many bodies to cover. And Sam Akers from Dalton Mayer, and it's a 4-2 ball game. So the Pumas have come back. At least they're back in this ball game. Face-off win Notre Dame. They've had the advantage there. They've doubled up Chandler and face-off X so far. And we got a timeout on the field. It's 4-2 Notre Dame. They come out in the all-purple uniforms looking to conclude a perfect season. They come in here the #1 seed. They've already clinched the #1 seed in the 2017 Arizona Lacrosse League playoffs. And they come in with an 11-0 record, looking to go 12-0, become like only one of, and we don't have all the stats dating back to the early years of the league, but I believe only 3 or 4 teams have ever went undefeated, so it's been a rarity in Arizona. And they got a good chance of doing that, but it doesn't matter how many games you win during the regular season. You got to win those 3 in the postseason, and that's the only goal for this Notre Dame team. Doug Lipska's team he's an intense coach, and he stays on these guys, even the senior leaders. He is not afraid to get in any of their faces, and he has been working diligently over the last 3 years to get this team prepped and ready for not only a run at a title this year, where they're the favorite, but I think again next year this team is going to be situated nicely. This is James Traxler. He's had a big year for this team, number 22. Good defense there. 28, Nicholas Sparks. Pumas down 4-2. In close, Traxler couldn't deliver. He took it to the doorstep. First half action, 4-2, Notre Dame on the road. Again, trying to complete the regular season here today in Gilbert, Arizona, and complete a perfect regular season. The only playoff game still up for grabs, and there's 3 teams vying for it, and that is Gilbert, Glendale, and Boulder Creek. Gilbert is traveling down the South Point. They would have to win, and Gilbert would have to lose in order for them to get in there. Boulder Creek would need Glendale to lose. They have the tiebreaker with Gilbert. And it looks like Glendale is probably going to be the AC because they have the second tiebreaker. They're probably going to win their game today. Boulder Creek's going to win too. But head-to-head, Boulder Creek and Glendale, who played earlier this week, it was a 12-4 victory for Bill Casey's Vipers. Most likely they're going to be the AC. And in fact, I think Gilbert might even already be eliminated. And this Saturday afternoon, a warm day, temperature right now 92 degrees. It's already went up 3 degrees since we had our opening face-off. Cunnington for Notre Dame. Moving right, takes a shot, turned away. And so far, Bryce Palmer has been pretty impressive here. Inside of 7 minutes left to go here in the first half. Quinn Stanton. And this is a young man that he's one of the leaders, obviously, on this Notre Dame team, but his midfield play, in transition, coming off face-off, so many times he wins ground balls coming off face-off, X. He's really had a big season. He takes a shot, and that one turned away by Bryce Palmer. Good job by the Pumas goalie. The Pumas trailing it as they try to clear it out of their own half, 4-2 here in quarter number 2. 6.5 left to go here in the first half. The numbers in favor of the Pumas, and they're within one. Incris to the wing, and Dane Hiddle. So Sam with an assist. He has a goal. Back-to-back scores here by Chandler. One was in a man-up situation. 4-3 is the score, and we got a game on our hands here at Perry High School in Gilbert, Arizona. Face-off win, and the Pumas are starting to close ground on face-off X. Picked up on the far side. Good job by the long pole defender. Excellent job. Neil Kalin. The Chandler Pumas, led by their head coach, Tice Thiessen. Won a state championship in Division II back in 2007. I'd say he and Chuck Rulin are probably the two longest tenured coaches in the league now. Bo Pick in his 9th year with Brophy. Dan Lannon, 9th year with Desert Vista. High shot, no good. Now I'm not, well, and I don't know about Division II. But at least in Division I, Rulin and Tice Thiessen, two of the longest tenured coaches in the state. 4-3. Pumas with a chance to tie this game up. We're in the second quarter. Rosen, tough defense back there. Get it up to Jake Smith. What was that? That might have been Quinn Stanton back there. I didn't recognize him. He's got the long stick. Notre Dame, led by Jake Smith, way out front on this warm afternoon for Arizona high school lacrosse. And right now the Pumas playing with some confidence. Notre Dame coming off, well, I guess you'd say their worst game of the season. They only won by 1 point when they had averaged over 10 points average margin of victory this year going into the Desert Vista game on Tuesday night at Pecos Field. And right now they are up by just 1 over the Chandler Pumas, who come in here with a record of 6-5 and 5 full games off the mark in the standings. Big shot, right hand, Jake Smith, or other Austin Rosen taking the shot. Good defense. Good job of marking him up was Cade Watcott, number 17 for the Pumas. But the Saints were backing up the shot. They lead it 4-3. Traxler. Nice job on the defense. Klimzak. Bryce Klimzak, I should say. Klimzak. Loose ball picked up by the Saints. Cunnington, the senior, the 4-year starter. He'll be heading off to play at a 4-year college when this season is over, and he takes a shot, and that one was just a bit wide to the right. Bryce Palmer deflected it, and the score remains Notre Dame in the purple in possession of the ball, leading it 4-3 over the home team, the Chandler Pumas, and the white tops and the red shorts. If Chandler can figure out a way to knock off the number 1 team in the state of Arizona, there's a chance they could climb into the number 5 spot. Of course, they would need a little help, as Desert Vista would have to lose. They would leapfrog Arcadia. Shot taken, no good. If they lose, they're the 7th seed. If they win, they'll at least be the 6th seed. They could get as high as number 5. And the funny thing about it is, I think if they had not lost to Pinnacle under their first-year head coach Chuck Ruland. Cunnington, great individual effort, takes a left-handed shot. And right now Notre Dame having a tough time scoring. And now playing a one-point game against Notre Dame, and a game in which Notre Dame is the favorite, no doubt about that. They could have gotten as high as number 4 because head-to-head they had beaten Chaparral. So a couple of playoff scenarios that probably won't evolve, but nonetheless kind of interesting to note. Draxler to restart it. Work it around. Quinn Stanton will pull the trigger, and he's got it. Big right hand. Stanton on the board for the first time here this afternoon, and a big goal, a clutch goal for Stanton and the Saints, and they needed it. And now it's a 5-3 ball game. Saints on top here in quarter number 2. Bergamo comes up with it. Flag down. And whoever gets possession after this is going to be the face-off winner here. A little cross-check, 1-minute penalty. And so that's going against the Pumas. So Notre Dame with a face-off advantage of 6-4 here. And now they're in a man-up situation here in the second quarter. Work it around. Now you're seeing the patience of this settled down offense. Here's a shot, big left, and who else? One of the best left hands in the state, Will Lynch. That makes it 6-3. That'll release the penalty. That's a man-up goal. Will Lynch on a nice pass from X. 6-3. Notre Dame leads it here in quarter number 2. Yeah, about 3 minutes roughly. There's no clock on the field. We're just estimating. About 3 minutes left to play here in the first half. They battle for the face-off, and Notre Dame's got it. And here they are in transition again. That's a nice defensive ride, though, all the way. Quinn Stanton, he's going to take the shot. No good. Oh, hold on. Extracurricular activity. That was an outstanding ride by Race Bloom. Nick Sparks came in from behind. Was it Sparks or 26? I'm not sure if that was Sparks. They're going to call, well, they could have called an unsportsmanlike conduct there. Well, just as Chandler got it to a 4-3 deficit, they give up 2 consecutive goals here to Notre Dame, unanswered goals. 1 a man-up goal, and now Notre Dame throws it away when they are in the man-up. First half action, 6-3. Chandler needing a good clear here. Maybe a timeout here if they can't get it over. Intercepted. Back in the defensive half for Notre Dame. And now the ball up towards midfield. Force it down the alley. Here's Hiddle going to work. He draws the slide, slips through 2 defenders, and he rifles one into the back of the cage. I'll tell you what, along with Traxler's shot, that's the play of the game. And it is now 6-4 as Chandler has cut the deficit to 2. Big face-off right here for the Chandler Pumas, trying to stay close with this great Notre Dame Saints team. Undefeated at 11-0. And a team trying to conclude a perfect regular season. Chandler gets another face-off win. And they've won more than they've lost in this quarter. Good ball rotation quickly into the offensive half. DeValle from Hiddle, and it's a one-point affair. It's 6-5. I'll tell you what, when you have that quickness and you execute good stick skills that time, crisp pass, and the end result, a good one for Chandler. And a ground ball win off face-off X. 4-4 face-off X here in this second quarter. Notre Dame still has an advantage in face-off X. So as we approach the end of the first half, we got about 80 seconds left to go. Connington going to work, takes the shot. Palmer turns him away. Ground ball picked up by Lynch. Goal line extended left, and he took the shot. Lynch has had a big first half. He has scored twice. He has assisted once. 6-5. The Purple People Eaters on top here. Notre Dame Saints. That's not what they're called. Traxler weaving his way through the defense. He lost it. Ground ball picked up by number 12. And a big ground ball at midfield. Traxler, Lynch, the left hand, bottom shelf. It's a hattie for Lynch. And Traxler's going to be credited with the assist, and it's 7-5. And check that, that is Lynch's fourth goal of the day. So the turnovers have been costly. They have led to goals for both teams here recent. This is the break-even face-off here in quarter number 2, and it's going to belong to Notre Dame, who has a 9-5 advantage in this game. Austin, Rosen, up ahead, and that is the end of the first half. With the score, Notre Dame 7, Chandler 5. Back with it. And coming up next weekend, the D1 state semifinals will be played either Friday or Saturday or one on each. Go to apmvideo.com or the Arizona Lacrosse League.com to watch all the 2017 Arizona Lacrosse League Encore Gamecast on APN. Chandler coming out with a face-off win to start the second half, but then they lose it back of X, and the possession belongs to the Pumas. They trail it 7-5, Pumas in the white. Well, it's been few and far between in this game that the Pumas have had these settled offensive opportunities. Icarus moving right. Jake Smith with the good footwork forces him to throw into X. Chandler trailing by 2 on their home turf here at John Wren Stadium on our Encore Gamecast of the week. Good defense by Notre Dame. The double team forces it into X, and then Icarus out front, turned away by one of the top goalies in the state of Arizona, Marcus Comences. Notre Dame up 7-5 here as we start quarter number 3. They've had 4 goals and assists from Will Lynch. He's having a monster game, going to work again, and he's done it again. Number 5. Well, he has absolutely been impressive, and it is now 8-5 for the visiting Notre Dame Saints, trying to conclude the regular season, the final regular season game, and become one of the few teams in league history to go undefeated. And then DeValle rifles one past Comences, and that was impressive. So DeValle with his second goal of the contest. He scored one back in the third, and I'll tell you what, this Chandler team will not go away. It is now 8-6. This will be a face-off win for Notre Dame. They have a 10-7 advantage in face-off X. No, give that back to the Pumas. So the Pumas will have the possession. My bad. As they try to work it out of X. Shot taken, and that was a good looking opportunity by Dane Hiddle. On defense, Zach Siegel, 14. Work it over to the wing. 8-6 lead for Notre Dame Prep. Trying to take a shot from goal line extended, and it's off the target. Comences might have had a piece of that one. He's had a solid game in goal here. And Chandler takes another shot. And another good-looking attempt over there, freeing up that right hand.
Hey guys, we need more balls over there, JB.
I'll tell you what, right now, Coach Doug Lipska has got to be a little concerned that I think coming in here, they were the favorite to win this game and up by 2. And this Chandler team doesn't seem like they are intimidated by the fact that Notre Dame comes in here undefeated. They have the biggest average margin of victory than any other team in the league. And they have beaten all the top teams, this being the last game of the regular season. They've taken care of Brophy, Chaparral, Desert Vista, Arcadia. They've run the table, and right now, Chandler's in a position to be in this right down to the end. Now Notre Dame with a rare possession here in the second half. Both teams have scored here in the third. Will Lynch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goals here today and 1 assist. One of the best games we've seen from an individual standpoint in terms of scoring on our Lacrosse League Games of the Week. Bergamo, who had the first goal of the day, draws the double team. Has it taken away for a moment or knocked away. He regroups, work it up top. Cunnington trying to get around the corner, couldn't do it, get it to the edge. And now it's going to be picked up by Jake Smith. Picked up there by Cole Melton. One-on-one, this is a good matchup here. Smith freeing up the right hand and pulls the trigger, and he's off the mark. Well, the two goalies, Bryce Palmer for the Chandler Pumas. Notre Dame's Marcus Comences. 8-6 Notre Dame in possession. They have the lead. And right there on the pipe, Cunnington on a great feed from Traxler. That is Traxler's second assist of the day, and back up to a 3-goal lead. And this, of course, the largest lead, tied for the largest lead in this ball game. Well, they've led 8-5 and now 9-6. Chandler, led by Neil Callan. And this is going to be a stop and play. We're going to get a push against Chandler, and they finally lose a face-off here in the second half. It's a 10-8 advantage in favor of Notre Dame. And the one-hop shot coming from Lynch, looking for his 6th goal, was off target. Notre Dame retains the possession, and then they shoot from the angle left. Bergamo with his 2nd goal of the contest, and this marks the largest lead of the day for the Notre Dame Saints, and now leading it 10-6. And they're going to get another face-off win here, well, once they corral it. And they finally do, with Ryan Poteet having a fine season this year in face-off X. Or on defense, I should say. He wins the ground ball. Out in front again, and at point-blank range, Bergamo had it, and Bryce Palmer turned him away. A sensational job. Right now, Notre Dame doing a pretty good job in their settled offense, a 6-on-6, and one of the things we talked about at the top of the broadcast is how good they are in transition, but they've been pretty good here today when they've settled in on their 6-on-6 offense. Get it into the box, and the big shot. Chandler comes right back. Icarus finds Dane Hiddle. Well, this has been a very, very explosive third quarter, 10-7 now. Notre Dame has outscored Chandler 3-2 here in the quarter. They had a 7-5 lead at halftime. Face-off victories even at 3. And Chandler still alive in this. 10-7 is our score, third quarter action. A little more than halfway through quarter number 3. You're watching the Arizona Lacrosse League on APN. Here's the dodge and a good check over there on the far side. Tell you what, Will Lynch seeing a little more of him going right. They throw it away, and it is going to be out of play. It's an unforced turnover, and the Chandler Pumas will take possession here near midfield, trailing 10-7. Nicholas Sparks returns to the lineup here for the Pumas. Notre Dame may want a good ride here on their defense. Now the Pumas will settle in, trailing by 3 here in the third quarter. We're inside of 5 minutes left to go here in the third. And a loose ball, midfield, picked up there. Excellent ground ball, and now Bergamo, and he will lead the charge as he dodges in and goes in with the left. Well, he's got the hat trick. Bergamo scoring his third of the day, and it's 11-7. And that was all off an unforced turnover, a big ground ball by number 13, and he took it in. They had 2 players ahead. If it was soccer, they would have called him for offsides. You talk about the speed and the athleticism of this Notre Dame team. It's going to be a tough task for anybody to beat them the rest of the way. Bloom gets it over to Ickerst. Sam moving right. Does not draw the double team. Story, good defense out on the wing for Notre Dame, who leads it 11-7 here in the third. Roughly 3 minutes left to play here. Bloom up top. Sparks. Work at goal line extended, and the tough defense, and there's a turnover. Zach Siegel, big ground ball coming off a ball that he dislodged from the Chandler Pumas, and quickly up the head to Cunnington. Cunnington splitting 2 defenders, gets some separation. He shoots and turned away by Bryce Palmer, the goalie of the Chandler Pumas. That'll keep the score at 11-7 and give the Pumas a chance to bring it upfield. Right now, this swarming defense is making it very difficult. This ball slides all the way down into the offensive half where it's picked up by Siegel. He's had a great game. And here comes Notre Dame. The Saints, Traxler, taking it in. He tried to go bottom shelf. Ball picked up by Will Lynch. Back to Traxler. Notre Dame got a score just a few moments ago from Bergamo, his third, to extend their lead to 4. This is their largest lead of the game. Tied with their largest lead. Flag is down. And Notre Dame is going to be in a man-up situation. We got an illegal body check there. Illegal body check going against, that's going against the Notre Dame Saints. So a golden opportunity right now for the Pumas to get really back into this game. 1 minute, releasable penalty. With 50 seconds left to go in the penalty, and a man-up situation and a big right hand. This is a big ground ball there. And Neil Callan comes up with it. Work it around. Ben DeValle. Up top. Need somebody to step in, and look at Zach Siegel. Swarming defense. Work it to the weak side. And the big right hand is no good. That was off the face of Dane Hiddle. 50-50 ball, and Notre Dame will not get it. Boy, what a great job that time by Race Bloom. He is a ground ball machine, no question about it. And he just threw it away. Well, that's a costly turnover. That might be one that will come back to haunt the Chandler Pumas. They needed a score there as we are nearing the end of quarter number 3. It's 11-7 in favor of the Notre Dame Saints, the number 1 seed, undefeated at 11-0. The 6-5 Chandler Pumas right now the number 7 seed. And they would open up the playoffs, which starts on Tuesday of this week against the Brophy Broncos. Shot turned away. Marcus Coleman sees, and he's going to corral it right in front of the crease, or in the crease, and quickly get it up ahead. Blake McKeon, the tremendous defender. Bergamo with 3 goals. Back to Cunnington. And now Blake Story. Blake Story, outstanding athlete. And I believe they're yelling 1 minute left to go here in quarter number 3 with Notre Dame up 11-7. Open man, and Bergamo, that was a beautiful pass. Bergamo slipped in behind the defense. And what a pass by Quinn Stanton. So Stanton with 1 goal, he has 1 assist in the game, and Bergamo with 4 goals. And it is a 12-7 lead for Notre Dame, and they're going to get the ground ball. They're going to get the face-off win. Story over to Lynch. Lynch looking past first, and Bergamo has scored again, and that is his 5th. On an assist play by Lynch, his 2nd of the day. Lynch has 7 points in this game here today, and it's 13-7 in favor of Notre Dame. Well, the Saints have poured it on. They have scored 4 of the last 5 in this game to enjoy their largest lead. There's a shot by Blake Story, no good. What a game for Lynch and Bergamo. These two have combined for 12 of the 13 points. Lynch with 5 goals, 1 assist. Bergamo with 5 goals. Traxler a couple of assists for his team, but this has been the Bergamo-Lynch offensive show for this Quinn Stanton. Great move, great pass. I'm telling you, Quinn Stanton is one of the most versatile players you're going to find in this league. And this is going to be awarded to the Chandler Pumas as we are coming up to the end of quarter number 3. Nice lead pass as he cheats it upfield. Normally you don't do well when you're cheaping it up there. Chandler needing something to get going here, trailing by 6. That time, Dane Hiddle, who has a couple of goals in this game. In fact, he's got a hat trick. With 3 goals here today, found a little pipe city on that last shot. We're down to the final seconds. And that's it. As we head to quarter number 4. I'm Jeff Lowry with APM Video Sports. Notre Dame with a huge third quarter. They outscore Chandler 5-2 and extend their lead to 13-7 as we start quarter number 4. Well, whoever gains this ground ball is going to get the face-off win. It's a 13-8 advantage for Notre Dame. And the Chandler Pumas will start with possession here in quarter number 4. They trail 13-7. Here's the left. And Marcus Coleman sees with the save, but a flag is down. This is going to be probably an illegal body check against Notre Dame. So a 1-minute infraction is going to put the Pumas up in a 6-5 offense as they settle in here. So a man-up situation for the Pumas. They get outscored 5-2 in that third quarter, and that's been a big difference in this game. Will Lynch with 7 points on the strength of 5 goals. Max Bergamo, also of Notre Dame, has 5 goals. Pumas turn it over. Again, an untimely, unforced turnover. Notre Dame still man down here in quarter number 4. Jake Smith. And he gets it over to Lynch. And he's got 6 goals here today, and that's a season high for him. 14-7. And hold the phone. There is a flag down.
Conduct foul, 30 seconds. It'll be blue ball.
Well, somebody must have said something. It's going to give the ball back to Notre Dame, who has scored 6 of the last 8 points in this contest and now have built their lead to 14-7. Will Lynch with 8 points here today on the strength of 6 goals. So a dominant second half here by the Notre Dame Saints. 9.5 minutes on the clock left here in regulation time. The playoffs, the A.L.L. playoffs, Arizona Lacrosse League playoffs start Tuesday night. It'll most likely be Notre Dame taking on either Glendale or Boulder Creek. And Brophy will most likely be taking on this Chandler Pumas team unless they can figure out how to get this thing all knotted up at 14 apiece. But they have been doubled up here points-wise, 14-7 because of a strong second half by Notre Dame. Cunnington trying to draw that double team, now works it out of X. They've done a great job moving without the ball in this game. Cunnington scores, and there it is. His first goal of the contest. 15-7 is the score, and that was a nice individual effort there by the 4-year starter, number 5, Will Cunnington. Face-off, Ryan Poteet battling with Callan. Pumas with their second face-off win to start the 4th quarter. A lot of contact right in front of our camera area. Jackson Barth battling out there for the Chandler Pumas. Give it back to Notre Dame. Blake Story will restart it for the Notre Dame Saints. 93 degrees, our game time temperature. Solid defense by Neil Callan. Lets him go, pulls the trigger, and leaves it wide to the left. Well, it looks like Notre Dame will be taking on the Glendale Vipers in the first round of the playoffs. It looks like Chandler will be taking on the Brophy Broncos. If Notre Dame is going to play Brophy in the playoffs, it will have to it's most likely going to happen in the finals. If they're going to play Shap or DV, Desert Vista, that will be in the semifinals because of the way the bracket plays out. Ground ball picked up here by the Pumas. Dislodged from behind. Good defense by Notre Dame. They're relentless, even with an 8-point lead. And we're going to get a timeout. So after the timeout, the restart, Sam Eckris. You know, right now, Doug Lipska has all his starters in there. Last year, Notre Dame beat Chaparral in the first round of the playoffs. Advanced to the state semifinals, only to lose to Desert Vista. Desert Vista had really a great team last year. Brophy, who made it to the semifinals last year, lost to Gilbert, the eventual champions, who beat Desert Vista in the finals and beat them by 1 on a Gavin Chris score. And boy, I'll tell you what, Notre Dame is pouring it on. This time it is Jake Smith. And that is Jake's first goal of the contest, and it's 16-7. 5.5 left to play here in regulation. Notre Dame has had a 13-10 advantage in face-off X, but they're not going to win this one, or are they? Yeah, Traxler picked it up. And the quick, crisp passes, I'll tell you, Traxler he's got a magic wand. Notre Dame, I'll tell you what, they are looking good in transition. They're looking good when they're in a settled offense. Here's Stanton, and he will take a shot at the cage. Palmer with another save. Here's another opportunity. Cunnington going with the right hand. Those boys back there in the corner better be careful. So Traxler will restart it in the corner. Top of the screen, number 22. Chandler Pumas. This is a team, now their junior varsity team is having a great year, and they've beaten a lot of good JV teams. And I'll tell you what, I think the Pumas and Pinnacle are going to be two up and rising teams in this Arizona Lacrosse League, along with Arcadia. I look for those 3 teams next year to challenge for a top 4 spot in the playoffs. I really do. Tice Thiessen, outstanding coach. Led the Hamilton Huskies program before they merged with the Chandler Wolves to 2 state championship games in Division II play. Traxler. Here's Cunnington. Or check that, Bergamo. They work it around to the wing. Now Cunnington. Over to Will Lynch. Will Lynch, a monster game. 8 points, 6 goals, 2 assists. And goes around the defender, and Palmer turned him away. Tried to sneak one in, a no-look shot.
Take that away, Trevor!
16-7. Traxler. Bottom shelf with a man all over him. Dalton Barber, I thought, played it well, but Traxler just needed a inkling of space and time, and he got it. And Trax has scored for the second time in this game. He has 4 points, and it's 17-7. And we're down to 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in regulation time. Well, we're going to get a flag on this face-off. Hold. It's going to be a hold. 30-second infraction. And the Chandler Pumas, as we restart it, well, they've been winning face-offs, but they just cannot find the promised land. They have not scored since Hiddle scored to make it 10-7 halfway through the third. I'll tell you, the fans are living dangerously, lined up in the danger zone over on the far side. The thing with the lacrosse ball is, this is a great ground ball here. Good job by Notre Dame. And here they go in transition, looking to add on to a 10-goal lead. Siegel loses it. He'd like to get on the scoring tally. Do we have a flag down, or is this going to be a play on infraction? There is a flag down. I didn't see it back here. So, man up time here for Notre Dame Saints. This is Will Lynch with his 6 goals and 2 assists. Been a big part of this 10-point lead. And going into the Desert Vista game, Notre Dame had an average margin of victory of 10 a game, and then they played Desert Vista and won 8-7, so that came down a bit, but they're up by 10 here, and that's been the average so far this season for this team. We're going to give this one to the Pumas here in quarter number 4. Well, it's been a long day for Bryce Palmer. He has looked awfully good at times. I know to give up 17 goals, you can say, well, how could the goalie have a good game? But I'll tell you what, he has made some spectacular saves in this game. And Notre Dame back in transition. They're trying to get Siegel to score. Had him in the pipe. Missed the pass from Will Lynch, who threw it a little behind him. And out of play, a relentless pursuit of great defense, Jake Smith. Timeout. So coming out of the timeout here.
Give me a shorty. Go. You got the deep shot.
All right, here we go. I've been corrected on the time. I think we've got a little closer. Well, it's about 2:45-ish right now. Of course, clock is being officially kept by the officials on the field. That's an inadvertent blow to the head there by Ryan Poteet. This is going to be a non-releasable, I would imagine. No. Let's say a slash. Probably a good call there. He just kind of tapped the helmet. It wasn't. I don't think it was in malice, but it's going to put the Pumas up. A man-up situation here. As we approach the 2-minute mark here, we're in a continuous clock here at John Wren Stadium on the campus of Perry High School. I'm Jeff Lowry with APN Video Sports in our coverage of the Arizona Lacrosse League 2017. So the Pumas are in a man-up situation. DeValier loses it on the far side, and then the push, and it's going to continue to be Pumas' possession here. Notre Dame by 10. Big shot, and that one's going to go. Nice looking shot, and a lot behind it by Race Bloom. That'll cut it to 17-8. With about 1:20 left to go here in regulation time. For Bloom, that is his first goal of the contest. Kittle with 3 to lead the charge. DeValier has a couple. In fact, DeValier has 3. So DeValier for the Pumas with a hat trick. And it's 17-8 in favor of Notre Dame, and they're going to have the possession here. 15 seconds left to go in this one. Notre Dame is going to finish the regular season with a 12-0 record. Notre Dame instructed to hold it here, and that's it. They have secured the #1 seed, and they do it in impressive fashion. A tremendous second half where they outscore the home team 10-3. A big game for Lynch and Bergamo. Lynch with 6 goals, Bergamo with 5, Lynch with a couple of assists, Traxler with 4 points. And our final score from Chandler, the Chandler Pumas here in Gilbert, is 17-8. This has been a presentation of APN Video Sports, Arizona's leader in sports video coverage. For Ron Rentrope and our entire crew, Jeff Lowry saying so long. We'll see you in the playoffs. It'll be Notre Dame taking on Glendale, and Chandler will be facing Brophy on Tuesday night. Till then, so long, everybody.